Okay, good morning everyone. Thank you for joining us today on this Sunday. My name is Azurin. Assalamualaikum and good morning. So I'll share my screen. I cannot find the first slide, but okay lah. So hari ni our demo is about classic Indian food tau. So usually Indian food use a lot of spices, a lot of ingredients lah, which what makes it more tasteful. Dia ada macam-macam flavor kan. So Indian food is my favorite lah. Memang I suka makan Indian food. And then yeah, so today we're going to show you how easy it is to cook Indian food with Thermomix. Okay, and so this is my life before Thermomix. I don't really know how to cook lah, to be honest. So lepas kahwin baru belajar masak, and I always have to Google the recipe, and then carilah if I want to cook kari ayam, I have to Google the recipe, and every time I cook I have to Google. Even though masak all the time pun mesti lupa kan. And then I'm also a working mother, so memang kadang-kadang balik kerja dah malas, dah susah sebab I have to like fikir what to cook and then to prepare, and then at the end of the day I have to clean so many things lah. The blender, the pots and pans, padahal masak 2-3 lauk je kan. So it's such a hassle. We end up having takeout. So bila takeout pula, it's so expensive now. Nasi ayam je pun for one person, nasi ayam dah RM10 at least. Itu chicken rice shop lah yang paling basic punya nasi ayam, right? And then itu untuk seorang, nasi ayam seorang RM10. My husband and then I have a baby, so baby tak beli food lah, so we order 2 nasi ayam. That's already RM20. And not to forget the Grab food punya Food Panda punya delivery charges. That sometimes diorang charge about RM9, RM8. Paling murah RM3 lah. So dah about RM25 macam tu. On top of that, we still have to wait for about 30 minutes. And yeah, with Thermomix 30 minutes you can make your own nasi ayam actually. Dah siap dah 30 minutes, terus masak semua, okay? And then on top of that, a lot of appliances lah, of course. And then my husband have like minor eczema, so ada certain things yang dia tak boleh makan lah. So sometimes bila kita order kat kedai, kita tak tahu like dia masak ayam tu maybe dia campur dengan minyak seafood ke kan, I don't know, maybe we don't know kan, so it could flare up allergy lah. So with Thermomix, bila kita masak kat rumah, we know the ingredients we use, we know what we put in our food, so it's safe kan. So for our kids, yeah, it's safe lah. And then sorry, okay, and then this is my passion. My passion is to have family happily eating together. So I suka lunch and dinner time sebab this is the time where all our family sit on the table, eat together, and then we talk about our days together kan. So this is actually, so waktu makan ni sebenarnya bonding time with family. So kalau stress kadang-kadang lepas masa masak stress, bila nak makan together tu kadang-kadang dah tak ada mood dah. Sometimes I would feel like macam tak apalah, you makanlah dulu, I nak rest kejap kan. So with Thermomix it's easy, it's tak stress lah sebab masa masak pun you can actually sit down, you can actually take a rest. And then bila dah siap, just hidang, and actually masa tengah masak tu you dah boleh set the table, and then bila dah siap terus boleh makan panas-panas and enjoy the time with the family lah. So tak ada stress kan. And then you punya baju pun tak bau because there are no fumes, it's only just vapor, so bau yang you bau tu is just bau of the food. Okay. And then so Thermomix Thermomix come from a company called Warwack, and it has been in the business for 130 plus years lah. But the Thermomix ni has started 50 years ago. So mula-mula it's just a blender, and then because the European country kan sejuk kan, so they implement a heating element onto the blender. So on 1971, and then it evolved into a Thermomix now lah. So Malaysia start distributing this machine at 2009. So diorang start with TM31. This one, the second last picture ni. So TM30, so ada a few people have TM31, and then they on 2014 evolve in TM5, and then recently 2019 kita start jual TM6, which is what we sell now, and it will be in the market for a few more years lah, sebab dia ada Wi-Fi, so it will be updated from time to time. So sama macam iPhone lah, sometimes macam my mom still uses iPhone 6 dia, because it gets updated from time to time and it's still usable lah. Dia pun tak ada rasa nak tukar to new phone yet. So like iPhone, bila you invest in something really good, it will last you for years. Okay. And then so it's only like RM9 plus a day je for 24 months, and it could last you for years lah. Like some of my family yang ada Thermomix ni dah pakai more than 2 years. So if dia bayar like RM9 a day ni, like 200 plus ringgit a month, actually dia dah habis bayar dah dia punya Thermomix, but still it's usable, and my family still use it almost every day. Okay. Okay, so now we're going to start first with Lynn. So Lynn will show us how to cook sweet potato and spinach curry with cauliflower rice. So dia macam sort of double layer cooking jugalah. So she will show you how to cook this, okay? And then I will get back to you with more info about the Thermomix, okay? Okay, Lynn, you can start. I think you need to unmute you.
Can you hear?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Azuri. Good morning, everyone. Hang on. Is it okay? Ada dengar echo tak?
Tak ada. Okay.
Tak ada. Okay. All right. Morning, everyone. Again, my name is Lynn. Today, I want to show you a cookie dough recipe. I personally, I nak confess dulu. I belum try recipe ni lagi on my own, but I thought it's a good opportunity for me to showcase to you, you know, how great it is using our cookie dough recipe, where if you follow step by step exactly what the recipes ask you to do, you will succeed in producing, you know, a very good and delicious food in just a matter of minutes. Okay, so I hope you can see the screen here. This is a cookie dough recipe. So when you search on cookie dough, you will come up with the title of the dish, the title of the menu, and also a picture by the side. So all you do is just tap on start cooking. So step number 1, it says to place cauliflower in. I think you can see this little picture right here. It is actually a scale function. So as cookie dough pops up, as the steps continues, you don't need to pre-weigh, because we are doing a demo today. So I pre-weighed every ingredients I have here. But in reality, when we cook using Thermomix, we don't pre-weigh. So because these scales will pop up as the steps goes on, and it will tell you exactly how much to put. So it is great and convenient because you don't need a separate weighing scale to measure everything. So now it says insert the cup, and I'm going to blend this into, because this recipe is a cauliflower rice, so I'm going to blend it into small little tiny pieces, depending on how I like. I just go to speed fry. Okay, done. Just click next step. Check if you like the consistency of the rice. I like my cauliflower rice to be slightly chunky so I can have the bite of it. I think this is perfect for me. Let me show you. That was 3 seconds, literally 3 seconds. So you can see I put in huge florets of cauliflower, and now only in 3 seconds, it already turns it into these little pieces of cauliflower. Now I'm going to pour this into what we call a varoma dish, because we're going to steam the cauliflower later on as the sweet potato cooks. So it is also like a double layer cooking. You can put this into a bowl or a plate first. If you want things easier later to pour it out, but I malas lah, you know, just have one less things to wash later on, so I don't need to put it in a bowl. You can do like just like me, just scrape down everything into the varoma dish, and we're gonna steam it later. All right. Briefly show you, this is how it looks like. So the important thing is you must leave at least 20% of the holes uncovered in order to let the steam comes up when you steam. So what I do is I push the cauliflower to the side, leaving the center empty. Then this will ensure even steaming of my cauliflower. I'm going to put this aside. We only will be steaming this at the latest step. So now, moving on to the next step, you can see all I do is I just click next and wait, right? Okay, scrape down, because these recipes ask us to blend twice into more fine pieces, but I didn't want that because I like it chunky, like I said. So all you can do is you can skip the step. How you skip the steps is by just clicking the next button. Okay, done. So now we're gonna start cooking the sweet potato. Again, now it calls for the oil to be placed into the bowl. Okay, never mind, sorry. Again, the scale pops up. It says 20 grams of olive oil. So I have oil here. You just squeeze. Okay, 20, 21, it's fine. Little bit more, little bit less, it's okay. Again, just click next. And my aromatics go in. I have onions and garlic. Next, garlic 2-3 cloves. It's very easy. You see, everything just main campak saja. You just put it in as what it calls. Because I am serving this for my toddler as well, so I'm not going to put in any chili. Again, I can skip that. Now we're going to blend the aromatics. Also, only takes 5 seconds. That's it. Click next again. This is your best friend when you are cooking with your Thermomix. Use this to scrape down everything. You can see I'm actually sitting down and cooking in my dining on my dining table, because this is what Thermomix can do for you. You don't need to be in the kitchen to cook, right? So now we're gonna saute. It's nicely blended. That took around 5 seconds. So let me just show you. Earlier, it was just big pieces of garlic and onion. Now it's nicely blended, not into fine paste. If you want it into fine paste texture, you can go on for maybe another couple of seconds at higher speed. So like I said earlier, this is my first time making. I'm going to completely follow exactly what the recipe tells me to do. Now, we're going to saute this for 4 minutes. Okay, so let it go on. And now I'm going to talk to you a bit about cookie dough. So what is cookie dough? Cookie dough is a built-in recipe platform that already comes with your Thermomix when you purchase, right? So it works like a recipe book, but it's already all pre-programmed in here. So as you search for the recipes, you can search it here, or you can search it on your mobile phone while you are watching your TV, or while, you know, at night before you sleep, you want to plan for what to cook for the next couple of days, you can do that. So usually I will use it on my phone. Like I said, at night, like before I sleep, that's the best time, you know, me time, that's my me time. My kids has gone to bed, and then I have my own time. I can do all the planning I want. So when you can bookmark the recipe, you can even create your weekly cooking plan for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or up to Sunday, every single day. All you do is you choose any recipes that you want, you plan it into your week, you can even save it. You know, this in Tuesday, I want to cook cauliflower rice with sweet potato curry, and then I want to cook, you know, other dishes. Also, you can save as many recipes as you want. You can go on for the whole day, the whole week. So that makes busy mothers like us, you know, even more convenient, because then when it comes to Monday, I don't need to start thinking only on Monday, last minute, what I want to make. You know, time is really precious to us. So pre-planning, especially with, you know, tools like this, really helps saves a lot of our time. And it's definitely life-saving, because imagine if you want to cook on Monday, but suddenly you have a last-minute meeting or just something that you have to attend to, then that disrupts your whole schedule. So sometimes it can be very stressful. I totally understand that. But ever since I own the Thermomix, it has been so much easier. I plan whatever I need to cook using cookie dough. And all you need to control, like you see here, there's 3 little circles. Using cookie dough's recipe, the time, the temperature is already preset for you. All you do is, after putting the ingredients in, you just need to turn this knob and switch to the speed that it tells you to do. There is also a marker right here. You can tell that what speed it is. So all you do is put in ingredients and turn this knob. That's it, and leave it to cook. You know, traditionally, if you cook over the stove, you have to stand by your stove. You cannot go anywhere. Otherwise, either your food go hangus or disaster happen lah. Huh? So now with cookie dough, you can see it's so convenient. I can cook. This little smart machine here is cooking for me. I am sitting right here sharing with you how wonderful this is. If you cook over the stove, it's quite difficult lah, unless you're super pro. Even that, you should be focusing on cooking, right? So this is really wonderful. I didn't believe in Thermomix before I get one. I in fact talk bad about Thermomix, and because I didn't give it a chance. I didn't take the effort to understand what this machine can do for me. But ever since I invested in one, there is no turning back. Yeah. So now it's ringing. Click next. After sauteing, make sure you open this way. Let the steam escape from here. Then only you open it entirely. You don't want to burn yourself, you know, just opening straight up, because these are really hot steam. So here, recipes call for cumin seed. I don't have. I'm just going to put in cumin powder and curry powder. All goes in. saute the curry powder with the hot oil. Then I wish you can smell right now. My whole house is smell of the good food. You know, the aroma of the garlic and onions. You know. Okay. So quickly, I want to share with you what are the modes available also on Thermomix. There are preset modes already available on your machine. You can find fermentation mode to make yogurt, slow cooking mode, sous vide. This is perfect for those of you who love to eat steak, you know. You don't need to buy another separate sous vide machine. And you know that will cost you, a good one can go up to 1,000 ringgit. The mediocre one, few hundred ringgit you can get. But if you already want to invest in good equipment like this, you know, you don't want to spend on the lower quality ones only to be able to use for a few times. Rice cooker mode, one of my favorite. Warm up mode, if you have young kids, if you want to warm up their food, you know, at the right exact temperature, you don't need to, you know, worry about too hot or not hot enough. Egg boiler mode, my husband's favorite. He doesn't know how to cook at all. He takes 2 hard-boiled eggs every morning. So he will come into the kitchen in the morning, you know, swipe and go in and tap on the egg boiler mode. He will choose his own preferred setting. There is soft if we want the kopitiam style, soft boil with a bit of soy sauce and white pepper. We have it set here. You don't need to guess. Tak payah guess pun. You just tap, bring up the setting, choose whatever doneness that you want. We have soft, medium soft, hard boil, everything ready for you. And my favorite function is definitely the pre-clean mode. So right now, I'm cooking my curry in here. Once I'm done cooking, my little Thermomix will wash itself also. All I need to do is add water, put in a couple drops of this detergent and just let it clean. And all I need to do is just rinse it after that. So how wonderful and easy is that? Does it not just tell you it is a life-saving machine, so convenient, right? So now I'm going to put in my sweet potato. Quickly show you how it looks like inside after it's being sauteed at low speed. Mix around for a bit. Ah, it smells so good. I wish you could smell this. Okay, nothing gets blended. It won't go into puree or anything like that. Yeah, so don't have to worry about this. So now I cut my sweet potato into chunks as what the recipe calls for. Whole thing go in. Again, you can see the scale came up. Next, tomato puree. Also, I already pre-weigh everything. All goes in. Next, water, 500 grams of water. Done. Next again, so simple. I'm following exactly what it tells me to do. What I'm putting in right now is chicken stock. You can use vegetable stock. Actually, the recipe calls for vegetable stocks, but I don't have, so I'm going to use the chicken stock that I have. That chicken stock is also made using Thermomix. It's a cookie dough recipe as well. So next is going to be cooking for 8 minutes. While this is cooking, I'm going to pass the screen back to Azurine, and she's going to show you more of the accessories and things like that. Okay, so Azurine, back to you.
Thank you, Lynn. Okay, so I'm going to show you a bit about the accessories. Okay, wait, I'll share my screen. Do I need to share my screen? Yeah, okay. So the Thermomix came with all this lah. So bila you beli, you will not just get the machine, it will comes with all the accessories as well. Okay, and then all the accessories ni, it's already enough for you to cook everything you need with the Thermomix. So you don't need to buy and other accessories lah. But if you do, you can also buy the new blade cover pillar, and that will also help you. Tapi kalau tak beli pun it's okay. Alright, and then motto of Thermomix ni, it's frictionless, and it was designed by like 120 engineers, I think, ke 20 engineers, something like that lah, tapi ramai lah. A lot of engineers came and designed this kind of frictionless motor. So bila you blend lama-lama, it won't heat up. So that's why you can actually make ice cream with your Thermomix. Sebab bila you put in the frozen fruits ke apa, and then bila you blend, your machine won't heat up. Selagi you tak letak the temperature, dia tak akan panas. So bila dia blend tu, dia memang akan blend sajalah. So compared to your normal blender, bila you blend, it will release heat. So that heat will melt your ingredients lah. So like I used to have what blender is it? A very expensive blender lah. Itu pun it was my mother-in-law punya blender, and she bought it about 1 to 2,000 juga, that blender, and it's very powerful. I can say like it's quite as powerful as the Thermomix. However, bila I blend, dia akan release heat. So you can actually smell, kalau you blend lama-lama, you can actually smell ada bau macam hangus-hangus tu lah, sebab it release heat. So bila I blend, it can also make ice cream, but I have to monitor, really be there and monitor lah, sebab I cannot blend lama-lama, and I have to like blend, stop macam tu. So with Thermomix, I letak je, set, blend, tinggal je, and it will blend it for me. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to show you ni lah. Spotlight. Okay. So this is the Thermomix, and it comes with this mixing bowl. The size of the mixing bowl is 2.2 liter. You can actually fit in seekor ayam jugalah dalam ni. I pernah buat rendang masa raya, so I put in one whole chicken inside. Okay, so it's stainless steel. Okay, ada blade kat dalam tu. The blade pula, there are two sides of the blade. So satu tajam, satu tumpul. Bila you blend biasa, it will go clockwise macam ni. So it will use the sharp side. And bila you tekan reverse, let's say you already put in your chicken inside and you want to kacau the chicken, just put in reverse and it will kacau anti-clockwise macam tu, using the blunt side. So your chicken won't get cut up lah. Okay, and then it also comes with this simmering basket. So simmering basket ni is where I cook my rice every day. So bila you letak beras you dalam ni, you boleh cuci terus dalam ni, air semua keluar, you tak payah nak yang tapis-tapis macam tu kan. So you can also wash your veggies apa semua dalam ni. Letak and wash macam tu je, air terus keluar, and then you put inside your Thermomix macam tu, and then tutup and masak nasi. So cooking rice inside the simmering basket 18 minit sahaja siap, and you will get low GI rice. So you don't need to beli low GI punya beras lah, mahal kan. Beli beras biasa pun you still get low GI rice, sebab the air kanji, air gula semua tu akan jatuh kat bawah. So bila you lift your nasi, you have to use the spatula, kan panas kan, so you use your spatula to lift your nasi macam tu. So bila you angkat nasi, bawah ni semua air kanji, air gula yang jatuh dari nasi tu lah. So you will get low GI rice. Okay, so bila I lift macam ni pun, I goncang-goncang tak jatuh. So it's very bagus lah, dia design. So if you can see, there's a hole. Nampak tak? Okay, there's a hole there. So kat situ lah I hook my spatula punya hook ni. So hook there. So boleh angkat. Okay. Okay, so next I terus cakap pasal spatula ni jugalah. So you can actually cut your dough as well using the spatula. So you don't need to buy like a dough cutter juga. So just cut your dough macam tu lah. You can also leave your simmering basket and then kacau-kacau your food inside ni lah. Sometimes a certain recipe will ask you to help kacau, so you can put inside. So this benda ni akan tahan the blade from heat, akan tahan the spatula from heating the blade. So you can kacau like that. Okay. Okay, so this is the lid, this is the measuring cup. So measuring cup ni, dia ada measurement 50 ml and 100 ml. So you just put it, you can put liquid lah, you can measure liquid in it. So maybe macam bila you baking, you dah letak tepung apa semua dalam ni. Next, maybe you nak letak air ke kan. So you can actually just pour inside here first and then baru pour sikit-sikit lah kat dalam ni. Okay. And then it also comes with this butterfly whisk. So butterfly whisk ni you akan guna untuk whip cream atau whip your white eggs. So kalau I buat ice cream, they would tell me to use yellow yolk. So yang telur kuning lah. So bila I dah guna telur kuning telur putih tu I will keep it inside my freezer for me to use next time lah. So I akan guna like this, macam it looks like an ice tray tapi it's for baby food. So I put in the egg whites dalam tu and then freeze. And then sometimes bila dah cukup dalam 5-6 egg whites, I would actually use it to make pavlova. So what I do is macam tu, so masukkan dekat highest blade. So this I show you. So this is the highest blade, dua ni. So you put it behind the blunt side like that. Okay, macam tu. So letak je and then you can whip your eggs terus macam tu, okay? And then next, this is splash guard. So splash guard ni a recipe will tell you when to put it lah. So you just put it on top of the lid macam tu. It will lock. Masa dia masak dia akan lock sekali. Okay. And then lastly is this varoma set. So it comes in 3 stages. One is the varoma lid. This one is the varoma tray. And then this is the varoma dish yang Lin pakai tadi lah, yang dia letak dia punya rice kat dalam ni. So like she said, you need to leave like at least 20 holes open lah, so that the steam will come out. So just put everything kat tepi-tepi ni, okay? And also you can also use this as your colander. Let's say you want to wash your salad, you can just put your salad in here and then letak air semua. Then you can goncang. So keluar you punya air. And then you can also use this untuk tapis pasta ke or anything you want to cook lah, just tapis. So lepas you dah masak dalam mixing bowl, you tuang your pasta dekat dalam ni and dia akan tapis the pasta for you, okay? Okay. All the accessories. And it also comes with this basic cookbook. So basic cookbook ni dalam ni ada, it tells you, okay, it also tells you some of the modes. And then kalau you nak masak, you nak tukar you punya recipe sendiri, it tells you what temperature, what speed you need to use apa semua lah. So when you get your Thermomix, I suggest you to read this basic cookbook sikit lah, especially the few first pages. It tells you a lot about your Thermomix. And then belakang-belakang ni dia ada bagi resipi-resipi. Okay, pumpkin soup lah, risotto with cheese lah, all these basic recipe lah. So all these recipe is actually ada dalam Thermomix you juga. ada dalam Thermomix you jugalah, but you can also use your cookbook to refer. Okay. Right. And then I have one more screen to share. Okay. So tadi accessories, and then this is all the appliances yang your Thermomix can replace. So sous vide cooker. So sous vide cooker ni I actually have it, and it's almost 2,000 ringgit. Sebab dulu before the Thermomix, my husband likes to sous vide dia punya daging lah. It used to sous vide apa macam salmon atau chicken pun boleh. And then usually high end restaurant akan sous vide dia punya meat, so you punya steak will be a lot more tender lah. So yeah, so now I don't use this sous vide cooker anymore sebab sous vide dalam ni lagi senang. Okay, and then you can also replace your hand mixer and blender, of course, food processor, coffee grinder. So kalau you nak beli coffee machine, you can actually save a lot more if you buy a coffee machine without the grinder. Because you can grind your beans with Thermomix lah. You can actually brew your coffee inside Thermomix juga. You can set the temperature at the perfect temperature, so coffee you takkan pahit. Okay, it can also replace stand mixer, cream whipper, dough machine, bread maker, egg cooker, kitchen scale, steamer, kettle, rice cooker, ice cream maker, slow cooker, and many more lah. So a lot of us don't even have the other things ni sebab macam dah lah kalau beli takut tak pakai kan. So the thing is with all these other appliances, since dia boleh guna untuk satu benda je, like for example a stand mixer, you can only use it to like basically bake lah kan. So bila you beli stand mixer tu, you tend to put it inside you punya apa tu cabinet. Sebab takkan nak letak kat atas counter kan, it will macam banyak sangat benda lah atas counter. So you end up, bila you tak nampak benda tu, you end up not using it. So with Thermomix, because it's only a size of like an A4 paper, you can put it on top of the counter and leave it there. And then sebab hari-hari you nampak, so hari-hari you rasa nak guna. Okay, and like for me, I don't have a rice cooker anymore, so memang I cook my rice with Thermomix. So let's say lah kalau I memang betul-betul malas sangat nak masak, I can buy lauk from outside, tapi nasi I still masak with Thermomix. Okay, so basically I memang pakai this hari-hari. Air pun like we have Starbucks punya recipe, we have like milkshake apa semua. So kalau I nak minum air best pun kadang-kadang malas nak pergi Starbucks, so I made it myself. Okay, so I think Lin punya time dah habis 8 minutes, so I'm going to pass it back to her to finish up her recipe, and then she can pass it to the next chef lah. Okay, all right.
Okay, thanks Azurine. So as Azurine was sharing with you just now, the 8 minutes was up. So he asked me to now place my varoma dish onto the top to steam for another 8 minutes. So just now I told you, I push the cauliflower to the sides. We remove this measuring cup. Then all we do is just place it like this. Yeah, now it is cooking the curry sauce as curry gravy, as well as steaming the cauliflower. So when my curry is ready, my cauliflower is also ready. So then we can serve immediately. It is just so quick and easy. All I need to wash is just all these pre-measured things, which I won't need to if I'm not doing a demo. Now it is steaming at varoma. I have another 5 more minutes to go. The speed is 0.5. So the lowest speed you will see here is a spoon. Spoon is the lowest speed where it mimics, you know, the gentle stir fry that we do on the stove. So on Thermomix also we have that lowest spoon setting, so you don't have to worry about breaking the food inside. can I just share a little bit about, some of the questions I get, when we talk about Thermomix is, right? Lynn, there are many other cheaper brands out there. You may hear of what Tokit or whatever it is, right? But a bit of information for you. Thermomix is made only in Germany or France. It is not made in China. Now, I'm not saying the things that are made in China is low quality. What I'm saying is that you can rest assured that Boac, who owns Thermomix, is really serious about the quality of the machine. So it is made in the home country. It is not outsourced anywhere to produce mass amount of the machine, right? If they want to do that, I believe they would, but they choose not to. So you can rest assured of the quality and the make that you do. It's just the same like, you buy a German-made car versus a local-made car. I'm not saying which one is better. I'm saying the quality is different. If you want this to last you for a lifetime with good and proper care, I personally believe Thermomix it is. So it's up to you to decide. But if you ask anyone out there who's owned both types of brand, Thermomix or non-Thermomix, I can almost guarantee you that quality-wise, this is the best, right? So I'm gonna pass to the next cook to show you the next recipe. And later on, when we come back, we'll show you the final dish. All right, thank you.
Okay, so now I'm going to pass to Hemi. Hemi, are you ready?
Hi.
Hi, okay. Okay, we can start now.
Lin duduk, kita pun duduk lah. Okay, hi, good morning everyone. I'm Hemi. Welcome to episode 3 of 2022, where we are making classic Indian dishes. Classic meaning people from our grandparents' time until our own children's time. These are the food that is made at least once a week in every Indian household. Okay, so today I'm making idli and sambar in like a 2-layer cooking. What am I supposed to do? Oh yeah, what I'm gonna do now is I just want to mention this recipe. Actually, there's many recipes on Cookido, and each of us make our sambar in a different way. Some people call it dal, some people call it sambar. This is actually my mother's recipe. This is the recipe I grew up eating. So what I did is through Cookido 3.0, there is an option where you get to insert your own recipes into the Thermomix. So this is my mother's sambar. So if you can see, it's written here, Amma Sambar. So like I was saying, especially like when we left our homes, like when we were in uni and things like that, we always tend to miss our home cooked food and all that. We always say, oh, yo, I miss your sambar, I miss your chicken or whatever. So like now, especially people with kids that are going off to college and all that, they could just insert those recipes and send it to them, which some advisors have done, like when they go overseas and all that, especially, they get to make the exact recipe that how it's made when their mom is making it, because I'll show you in a while why you get to replicate the recipe all the time. Okay, so what I'm going to do is it's written here, add 500 ml of water. So actually there is a scale in Thermomix. You don't need to measure it separately, but I have already measured it. So I'm going to add 500 ml of water. Okay, and then I have already soaked my dal. So this one I soaked for about like 15 minutes like that. So this is how it looks like. The thing about this dal, why it's different, the way my mother makes it different is because she mixes her dal. She just doesn't use one kind of dal. So if you go to any shops and all that, they have several different kinds of dal. So my mother, she always mixes. What she will do is she will mix tur, Mysore is the orange one, and then the what they call it, dehusked green gram. So that is moong dal. So there's turam, Mysore, and moong dal. So I've just soaked it. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to use my hands. That's what we all do in the kitchen, right? I'm going to add that in. So this is just like 1 cup of the dal. Okay. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of turmeric. That gives the beautiful color of dal, sambar. Okay. And then 3 cloves of garlic. Kalau I berdiri tak nampak. Okay, so 3 cloves of garlic goes in there. And then we have 1 red chili. I split in the middle because that's what my mom does. I just put here. And then, so that is for the boiling of the dal. So the next one, what I'm going to do is, ini simmering basket, which Azurin had already explained. It comes free with as an accessory. So I'm just going to put that here. And what I'm going to do is, I've got all your vegetables lah. Carrots, 1 carrot, and I have radish. I have this thing called drumstick. I don't know what is it called in Bahasa. I have to Google that out. In English, it's drumstick. In Tamil, it's called murangakai. So I'm going to put that in. That's 1. What do you call that? 1 drumstick. Then you have long beans. You can use French beans. Like I said, I'm doing it the way my mom does it. Okay. And then she puts in, I forgot my potato. Sambar without potato is tak boleh jadi. Okay. So potato, 1 potato lah. You just cut into 4. Cut into 4 pula. Cut into 8. And then pumpkin. Just a little bit lah. I have the recipe and all that. It will be in my recipe card. So if you follow me on my Insta, it will be there. Okay. So we're going to close that in. And then I forgot to mention, what is sambar? Sambar is actually a vegetarian dish. Indians in general are vegetarian. It's just that we tend to eat meat. So to get protein, that's why they use lentils lah, because lentils are high in protein. So it's lentil-based vegetable stew. So I'm boiling the parpa, the dal, to make it soft. And then I'm steaming the vegetables, which will then be inserted. So you can imagine when you're doing it on the stove, what people tend to do is either do it separately, or they will dump it all in together and then they will boil over. And then, as you all know, Indian food, there's no nutrients. It will be soft and mushy, but the nutrients would very well be depleted. Okay, so the next layer is our varoma dish. So I've already pre-made my batter. This is also my mom's recipe. The recipe is the same. It's just the measurement is what she always makes lah. Okay, so this is how it is. The idli batter. I have put in the batter inside here. And then for those who receive their hosting gift, if you don't have the idli molds, you can use the silicone molds lah. So traditionally, an idli is made in something that looks like this. So this is my idli pot steamer. So this is about 80 ringgit. So this is how it looks inside. Dia macam pressure cooker juga lah. So This is how it looks inside. You isi air and then you fill it up. You put the molds in here, and then you just put it in, and then you have to steam until dia keluar whistle lah. Sebab ada whistle sini. So the thing about this is it's bulky, so you need a place to store, and then it can only steam the batter lah. You can't blend it. Like what I did here is I had soaked it, and then I blended it, and then I ferment it inside here. Traditionally, conventionally, what people would do is they would soak it, and then they would blend it using the blender, and then they would separately ferment it, like in an earthen or a clay pot or something like that, just to maintain the temperature. Thermomix has a fermentation mode. So what I did is I used the fermentation mode overnight, for 8 hours and maintain the temperature at 37 degrees. Because this idli is how it ferments is because of leavening agents by carbon dioxide. Sorry, science class a bit on Sunday. And the black gram, because idli is a combination of parboiled rice, urat dal, which is black gram, and you put some fenugreek, halba, and some cooked rice to make it fluffy and like pillow like that. So that black gram would excrete lactic acid, and when you add salt while it's fermenting, that would suppress the growth of undesirable microorganisms. So you have to imagine ancient Indian civilization times, they already make this. So it's something like 12 hours of soaking, 12 hours of fermenting. So that's like 24 hours before you can actually eat. So what did they do to make sure that what they consume is not going to be toxic to the body? They added salt. And that's what I added. It's just that I used new technology lah. Okay. So there's one more here, lubang. So this is how it looks like. As I blend only 1 minute. Okay. And for those who don't know, idli batter is the same batter for thosai. It's just that thosai is chai. So this one I use 100 ml of water. For thosai, you have to add another 100 ml of water. Bila blending time. So I'm just gonna put this right up here. I cakap laju ke? Where's my cover? Oh. So this one pun free. Okay. Memang when you buy Thermomix, it comes together. This is your steaming agent. So what I'm doing is I'm boiling the parku, I'm steaming the vegetables, and I'm going to be steaming my idlis. Okay. And I'm going to cook it for 15 minutes at Varoma at speed 2. So back at you, Azrin, because I think we've got this amazing interview going to go on about Indian dish. Thank you.
Wait. Okay. Thank you, Hemi. Looks so good. I cannot wait to see what's the end result like. So I've never eat sambal and idli also. Okay, so now while Hemi is cooking, I would like to interview one of our Thermomix user lah. So Elashni, are you ready?
Hi, yes, I am ready, Hazri.
Okay, wait, I add spotlight. Okay, hello Elashni. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, so can you tell me a bit about yourself? Like how long have you been using Thermomix? And what makes you want to get the Thermomix?
Okay, so I'm actually now 32 years old, and I've been cooking ever since I was 14, 15 when my grandma and my mom were cooking. So me and my sister, the both of us in the family, we love to cook. So and once I got married and all, work and husband is working, so it's very difficult to cook because obviously my husband loves Indian food so much. So when he wants Indian food, time consuming, because like what Hemi said, Indian food will be always boiling and cooking for long hours, and obviously we lose nutrients as well. So, and long hours, I don't have time because of work, and I have two dogs who also take up some time. So I don't want to be spending too much of the time in the kitchen and not being able to be present with them or my husband or my work as well. So I heard about Thermomix, I think a year ago from one of the websites. Like I just came across of it, but never really took into interest or anything like that. So just like, oh, okay, it's a machine, and didn't really bother to read or do anything about it. And then start seeing this in Instagram by other users. And then I just kept watching and silently stalking them on how things were working on for them by using Thermomix. So finally, when Kumu is actually it's my friend list. So when I saw her getting it, that really sparked me because I was like, oh, someone close in your circle is actually using it. Because as usual, humans, we don't really bother when something is very far, but when it's so near, you're like already interested to know, like,
Yeah.
okay. So I saw her, I started following her since day one. She started posting about Thermomix, and I bought it in, I think, a week before New Year, ordered from Kumu, and I've done my research and whatever I would need in regards to this product. And I felt that this could really help ease my burden of cooking. Because on a normal day, I would prepare the things, I would cook. My husband is always helpful in the kitchen, but I do pity him at times because he doesn't know how to cook, and cleaning is his department. So the washing is like a long period of time, and it's very tiring as well because while he washes, I clean up my countertop and all that. It's like a lot of time wasted. So I bought it. I told my husband I'm doing this, and he was a bit shocked with the price. But I told him, rest assured, I got it covered, and I know this is going to be a good one-time investment. So okay, he said, okay, let's do it. And then he was a bit like not so sure because of obviously men's they don't really understand or see it unless they actually see it, right? It's just how their brain wiring works. So I brought it home. I wasn't able to cook or do anything for the first few days because I was traveling. But the moment I started, I never stopped and I never turned back. So it's been like 3 weeks now, me using TM6. Never a dull, boring, sad day in kitchen because I'm using every day on a daily basis. And I don't really use the recipes yet because I'm already a person who cooks, so I just do my normal cooking in Thermomix as well because it's very easy. So I do all my Indian dishes there, and my husband is like watching me every day. And then after 1 week, he was like, okay, not bad. You're doing all this in half an hour. I'm like, yeah. And he was like, okay, okay. So I saw that spark in him. But yeah, he's convinced lah now after 2 weeks seeing me using this. So I've been very happy, and I don't have to like really spend time a lot. So the second week of having my TM6, I brought it back home to Malacca, to my parents' home, and I showed them. And my mom is the most traditional person ever to cook because, Indian people and their food and the way they cook, it has to be a certain level of cooking, the ingredients and stuff like that. Like you cannot just miss something kind of thing. So when she saw me cooking with this, and I told her, Mom, take rest this whole week. TM6 will do the cooking for you. Honestly, she was surprised and amazed as well. So she did not expect that because she was a bit curious as how the taste will be like because there's no long hours boiling, there is no like sauteing in a very long time. So she was very curious. But I've done some recipes of hers, that the usual one that I do, and she was very surprised that the taste was maintained, nutrients were maintained, and food actually tasted so much better than without MSG or without taste enhancers that we get in restaurants as well. So my mom is a very healthy cook since young, so she has never used any taste enhancers or MSGs, and that's how she's brought us up. So I adopted that in my sister as well. So it surprised me how delicious the food is using TM6. because when I spoke to Kumu said, it's normal because the way TM6 is made to maintain the nutrients as well as the temperature, so it knows how to manage the food and not overcook it or undercook it as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, been very happy using Thermomix for 3 weeks now, basically.
Thank you so much for that sharing. But yeah, it's actually true. Like when I cook my daughter punya soup, veggie soup,
Mm,
it says veggie soup. I didn't even put any salt and sugar pun, but the soup tasted so delicious. Even I eat her soup, veggie soup. Tau. When we cook it on the stove, I need to put like garam sikit or gula sikit, right? Or maybe chicken stock, baru ada rasa. If not,
correct.
yeah, kalau guna TM6, I don't even need to put sugar or salt. It's still very, very nice, right? Okay. So I think you answer a few of my questions also. So the difference, what's the difference between cooking Indian dishes conventionally and versus using Thermomix? Is the time different? Is it faster cooking using Thermomix?
It definitely is faster. Like as I said earlier, I don't even touch my stove now. It's there for 3 weeks. I only use it because I think the first 2 weeks I haven't got my air fryer yet. It was on the way. So whatever I want to fry or deep fry, I will just use the stove. But
Mhm.
now with the air fryer in, I completely stopped using my stove as well. So I boil water in my Thermomix because there's a boiler kettle mode there. I can boil it
Mhm.
there, and I cook pasta. Sometimes my husband doesn't like Western food. I love Western food. So on days that he doesn't is not at home, I would just whip up a quick pasta dish for me. And I don't even have to boil it on the stove. I just use the Thermomix to do it. And if I use like what Hemi says for dal and all, we usually use pressure cooker to cook it, and then it overflows in the steam and the whistle sound. It's space consuming. But with dal cooking now in Thermomix, just like how Hemi is doing, it's so much easy because I just leave it to cook and I steam my veggies, or sometimes I just put in rice. I just cook my rice on the top while I'm cooking my dal at the bottom. And then I just go prepare my stuff, or sometimes I do my work. So I've been working from home 2 years already because of COVID. And last year, I wasn't able to cook at all because we've had lots of new tenders and projects coming in, and we were literally grab fooding every day. And compared to the waiting time of the Grab, like you said earlier, Azurine, I could actually just whip something simple up for myself, which is healthy in TM6. And the stove, it takes a long time to cook, just even a sambar, like at least the 45 minutes. And in a fish curry, even though it's just fish, it doesn't take much time, but for the masala and the paste to actually nicely boil and cook, that easily takes about 30 to 35 minutes. So, and I have to stand so long on the stove, and then I can't move away because you need to make sure that it doesn't burn or doesn't overboil or anything like that. But all that is solved now with TM6. Like I don't have to stand there. I just leave it to cook more, and then I just go do something else. Like if I have a meeting or something, I have a work to do, I just run down, put my ingredients, let it cook, just go up and then continue a meeting or just do my work, whatever I need to do it. And sometimes my husband is downstairs, he just knows when to like take out and put the next thing in, or he just like shouts at me like, what do I do next? And I'm like, okay, put this, and then he'll just do it while I do whatever one I upstairs. So it's been very convenient and easy lah, time saving actually.
Yeah, it's true. So while it's cooking pun, you can do something else, right?
Yes.
So yeah, different in taste, like you said just now, not much using Thermomix is taste better, is it?
Yeah, I because my mom used this word actually. Is this a magic machine? I'm like, what?
It
I'm like,
is,
what
I
did
think it is.
no, I understand the magic interpretation when it's able to do so many in one machine. But then I asked her again, like, what do you mean it's magic? And she's like, because whatever you cook in that tastes good. I said, oh, okay. Then I was like, yeah, ma, because we don't really have to set the temperature or anything. It knows what temperature, it knows how long to cook. It's high temperature cooking. Like I always use 100 or 120 to saute or to just cook because I shorten the time and it cooks in a high temperature. That means you don't overcook your food and lose the nutrients in a short period of time. So that itself is a very good feature and function, I would say. And it maintains nutrients because it doesn't destroy the nutrients and vitamins or minerals in the food as well. So usually if we cook sambal, there's no nutrients in it, there's no proper food dietitian in it because it's just chili, right? But when you cook here in Thermomix, it maintains the chili taste. It also, you can add in ginger, garlic, all those that you can still taste it when you eat a sambal because it maintains the food nutrients. So the taste difference is very obvious, and I would say it's in a good way basically. I
Yeah,
don't have to use enhancers or anything like that.
that's nice, right? So
Yep.
even cooking veggies, bila dah masak veggie tu, the color is still very vibrant tau, compared to like cooking on the stove. It will look so layu, the color also so dull, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you so much, Elashni. So I want to open the floor for some questions lah. Do you, and if you
Happy
have,
birthday!
oh yeah, happy birthday to you.
Happy
Oh,
birthday,
thank you so
Lashmi.
much. Thank you so much. I just got a shock.
Kumu tell me that it's your birthday like today, right?
Oh, thank you.
So yeah, happy birthday.
Hi.
Okay,
Oh, so cute.
I take some questions. So Zulaika asks, what's your favorite dish to make with Thermomix?
For me, I would say two things, which is my sambar and my fish curry, because easy and no time spent. And I do multi cooking whenever I do my sambar and my fish curry because water when you're cooking the masala, and then I just steam my rice or my veggies or whatever I want basically to put in the curry. So
Mm.
that's basically my favorite dish to cook. I'm yet to try mutton because never cooked mutton in my life. It's always my mom. But I want to try cooking in TM6. I will definitely post recipes when I do it because I'm pretty excited to cook mutton.
Okay. Have you like you usually cook your mother's recipe lah? You change it to use with the M6. It's easy, right, to convert like normal recipe to be used on the Thermomix. Was it
It
hard?
is, it is.
Mm.
Not really, because I mean, for some newbies, it might be a challenge because obviously you're not familiar with the ingredients or
Mm.
the time and everything. But since I've been cooking, so I just adopt it. Like I just manage the temperature and the time only. That's all I do. So other than that, it's not a challenge because ingredients wise it's the same. Like I said, temperature only you have to jaga lah, and the timing.
Mm.
That's all. That's quite
Mm.
easy actually.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Thank you so much, Lashni, and happy birthday to you.
Thank you so much once again. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Okay. So I think I'll share a bit lah before Hemi needs a few more minutes. So basically, this is the picture of the food that Lashni made. She shared it with me. So a few of this, I think this is crab, this is udang. So sambal udang also tastes very nice. And others, I'm not so sure, sorry. Okay. So it's very easy with Thermomix. You just like, to convert it to convert your own mother's recipe or your own recipe to be used on Thermomix. It's not hard, it's actually very easy, and while it's cooking you can just leave it, so dia akan masak for you. You don't need to ni lah jaga-jaga or tengok-tengok. Boleh tinggal je. Okay, and then I'll share a bit. Yeah, so when you purchase your Thermomix, it will come with all these services lah. It's free delivery. It also comes with this basic cookbook and a manual. This basic cookbook and also a manual. So we'll get a manual as well. And then online recipe. So in the cookie dough itself, there are right now 78,000 recipe in the Thermomix itself. Okay, so when it gets updated from time to time, it will get updated via the Wi-Fi. So it will add more lah. When I bought my Thermomix, it has like 60,000 recipes. So in less than a year now, it has added more than 10,000 recipes inside lah. Okay, so it also has VIP cooking classes. Sometimes we prepare a few like cook along sessions, and then like the cooking shows that we have every weekend, like this one, we can share with you lah. So you can always attend that. We also offer free unboxing service. So your advisor will unbox the Thermomix with you. If you both live on a separate state, we can do it via video call. It's very easy. And also we have like a 7 minutes video on how to like unbox it, where to put, and how to maintain your Thermomix lah. It's very easy. It's very straightforward. Okay. And also personal advisor support. So when you buy your Thermomix with an advisor, that person will be your advisor like forever. So you can always just text that person. If you want a new recipe, you can just ask that person lah. Macam, do you have this recipe for this, recipe for that? So just message your advisor, okay? And also service center. So we have a service center. Our HQ is at Sunway Damansara, somewhere near Kota Damansara macam tu, and you will also get 2 years warranty. Okay, so if anything happens, you can just contact your advisor and they will arrange for you the pickup and all, and you will send to the service center dekat Kota Damansara and they will check for you lah. Okay, so there's a question. Most time Indian cooking gets our pots and pans burned. Making pongal, the bottom gets burned. Cleaning isn't easy. So how this manage on TM6? Any experience? Okay, so with Thermomix, there are actually pre-clean mode tau. I'll show you. Okay, I stop share. Hold on, Hemi. Lepas ni I pass back to you. Okay, so dia open up. Okay, so when you cook something yang bawah tu gets burned, with Thermomix that also happen lah. Not usual, but sometimes it can happen. Usually macam if you brown chicken cube ke apa ke, they will get a little bit of burn. So, but don't worry, there are pre-clean mode here when you press this one. Okay, so you can actually pick, you can actually choose the option of browning kat bawah ni. So this option, bila you pre-clean, it will cook, it will clean at 105 degrees Celsius. So what you need to do is put water, about 1 liter, and then put a dash of soap inside the mixing bowl, inside here, and then you set the pre-clean mode, you set browning. So when cleaning using browning mode, it will warm up the water to 105 degrees Celsius. So dia akan lembutkan the brown at the bottom lah. So when you pour, bila dah siap, when you pour out the water, the brown will be easy for you to scrub. Okay, you don't need you don't need a lot of effort pun to scrub it. You can just scrub. You can just like tolak-tolak sikit and it will come out. Okay. I made PSM and the base was perfect. If all it gets burned with it, and you have option to use pre-clean mode browning. Yep, like what Jaya said. Burn tu rarely happen lah. Sebab I think with Thermomix, it cooks at like a very optimum temperature. It doesn't cook like, it doesn't get overcooked. So the browning is great lah. Okay, I mean the browning doesn't happen. Sorry. Okay, Hemi, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, back to you.
Okay. Hi guys. So after boiling the dal, I blended it. So this is how it looks like. And then the veggies have already been steamed. So in the simmering basket, I take it out. And this is how it is. And then my idli are done. Idli, before you take out from the mold, you have to let it cool down for a bit lah. So 15 minutes done. I take out the veggies, I take out the idli, and then I leave the dal behind, and I blended it for 10 seconds. 10 seconds. You're not going to get seconds from any blender. You can only get it from the Thermomix. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside. Okay. Now, next, on the recipe, which actually normally what you do on the stove also is you have to yang saute tu you have to do, then you add in the dal lah. Some people don't blend dal. I like to blend to make it thick and very yummy. Okay. So kenapa dia keluar macam ni? Okay. So now in the mixing bowl, I have to add red onion. So the good thing is you tak payah blend, you just peel and then you just pakai campak je. This one I like, campak masak. So 10 seconds, speed 5. Kita boleh main-main rambut lagi, tengok-tengok muka lagi. Okay, done. Next. Okay, so they have this spatula, which Azrin had already mentioned. So you just have to scrape it down. Tak tunjuk pula. This is how it looks like. 10 seconds. 10 seconds, and it has already chopped it for you. So some people like it fine, then you can increase it, but I like it like this, just roughly chopped. Okay, add ghee. So ghee is about 2 tablespoons. Some people use coconut oil. You can also use normal vegetable oil. I suka ghee sebab it's so yummy. Okay. Right. Then I'm gonna add the spices lah. Okay. So actually spices, when you go to the kedai runcit or anything, they have the mixed spice, so you can actually buy it. But I like to put it. I like to put it like this is mustard seed. So bibit sawi is about half a teaspoon, just to get an even amount of spices lah. And then you have coriander seeds, which is ketumbar, so that's half a teaspoon. And then you have cumin. Cumin is jintan putih, half a teaspoon. And then you have fenugreek, halba, which is half a teaspoon. And then you have urat dal. Yeah. Actually, urat dal, my mother, whenever she cooks, she will always put mustard seeds and urat dal, and the smell of the vegetables will be memang sedap. Okay. So we've already put in the spices, and then daun kari lah. Daun kari, about 2 stalks, and then dried chili. Okay, so this is going to saute for 2 minutes. The thing about, just want to mention that when you saute on the stove, when you're doing spices and all that, first you have to heat up the wok. And then when you add the oil, you have to heat up the oil first, usually. And then when you put the spices, you have to slow down the fire. For people who don't know how to cook, they tend to burn the spices. You are not supposed to burn the spices. So with Thermomix, they actually have this option where you get to, I get to use 85 degrees for 2 minutes. So it's not gonna burn my spices, and that which would not make toxic fumes and all that. So this is to speed spoon. So it's like kononnya I tengah kacau on the stove lah, but I'm not going to kacau lah. This fella is going to kacau for me. Like how Azurin had already mentioned, the blade, when it goes clockwise, it's going to chop and blend and mill for you, because that's where the sharp edges are. When you put it at anti-clockwise, it goes on the reverse, and then that's where the blunt side will act like a stirrer. So it will act like as though you're using your spatula to stir, or like some dishes where you need vigorous stirring. That's how it's going to do for you lah. So over here is split spoon, 2 minutes at 85 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to talk a bit about perfect temperature. So someone from the audience asked, does it get burned? No, it doesn't get burned. You know why it doesn't get burned? Because we are cooking it, we are cooking it at perfect temperature. Perfect means that particular dish, what temperature you need, that's the temperature you are going to use. Like what I did with the spices. Oh, nampak gelap pula. Sorry, technical. I hope you all can see this. Nampak ke?
Gelap sikit lah.
Yeah, can, but a little gelap.
A little bit dark. I'm actually sitting at my island bench, and this is where my induction stove is. So I just on the hob light, but it's not bright enough. But anyway, talking about perfect temperature is, vegetables are cooked at 120 degrees. A lot of us don't know that when you on the stove, you are actually cooking at 200 degrees, more than 200 degrees. So like you have to slow down the fire, you have to increase the fire. People who always cook for many years, they would know, like, our parents and grandparents and all that. So like people of the younger generation, they don't know. So what happens is, when they cook the first time, tak jadi. They cook the second time, oh, jadi. Then they call people over to the house and all that. Oh, I tried this, I want to try this. I'm going to cook for you again. And then they go like, I don't think it's nice and all that. So what they do is they end up, they give up because you never get the same kind of texture every time, The thing about Thermomix is when you cook the first time, it gets right. All the time it gets right. Oh, that's stop. People don't have this like. Just 1 minute. Sorry about the advertisement. So 120 degrees, and then you have this option called high temperature. So you get to do like you fry your prawns and all that. There is this recipe called kamyong prawns. It's my total favorite. You make the prawns in like 4 minutes, and you actually fry the prawns in like 2 tablespoons of oil, which is so healthy. And then you also get to like do browning, like what Azurin was mentioning. Browning means it's something like you're frying, because Westerners, they don't deep fry. We are the ones who like to deep fry, and it is so very unhealthy. Especially if you deep fry at home, then it's fine, because we always tend to use the oil only once or twice. Some people use it twice. But when you go to restaurants or like these kedai mamak 24 jam and all that, there is no way they're going to use that oil once. And they would generally use cheap oils, those that is not refined. So it's so very unhealthy if you were to consume it for long periods of time. Like people in their 50s and 60s, they have health problems. It's because of 20 years of eating habits. So when we want to inculcate good eating habits with our children, we have to start them from now. So although they have this high temperature, because of short periods of time, that means it's like 4 minutes, 3 minutes, and your food is already done, it retains the nutrients. And apart from that, they also have this caramelization step in the cookie dough itself, where you get to make your own lollipops, or you even get to make things like dodol, if you can see in the flip chart. So dodol, I'm from Terengganu, so dodol is my total favorite. I have seen people, with the kawa besar and then those big wooden, what do you call that, spatula and all that. They would be stirring and stirring and stirring, because if you don't stir, the sugar at the base, it's going to caramelize and it's going to get stuck to the pot. and then you end up losing maybe half of the ingredient. So when you, the amount of stirring you do, 45 minutes, 1 hour stirring, now who's going to do that now? We don't have time. I'm not saying people those days had time. It's just that at this time and age, we are so involved in so many different things in our life. There's the social aspect. We are all working, or we are not working, but we have other things to do and all that. So what it will do is you just campak, and the Thermomix will actually stir for you, and you get to do other things when it's actually stirring for you, and you will get it perfect all the time. No base is going to get hangit. There is no way it's going to get hangit. If it gets hangit, it's because there is something wrong, probably with the way you had actually done the step now. Okay, so I'm going to continue this. Sorry about the advertisement. So next up, after I had already done the spices and my onion, next is I'm supposed to add tomato. So if you notice, the machine actually calls me. So if you don't press the knob, it's going to call you. It's going to call you for half an hour. Your washing machine is not going to do that. It will call you 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, that's it. And some people, when they go out, they're rushing, they have 2 kids, they have 3 kids, they will completely forget got clothes inside the washing machine. The next morning, they'll come and then they'll open the washing machine, do the bau, the lembab and all that. Then what you do, you end up washing the clothes again, because you were so, rushing. Probably that one particular day you were rushing, and the washing machine just bothered to call you for 3 times. Thermomix is not going to call you for 3 times. It's going to call you and call you and call you until you stop and know that, okay, that's the next step and you have to continue cooking. So here I'm going to add tomato. So I usually add 1 tomato. If it's big, you cut into 8. Otherwise, if it's a small tomato, then you just put 2 tomatoes. That's what my mom does. And then you add brinjal. Brinjal, just 1 cut into 8. Terong bulat, bukan yang panjang. And then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. Okay. 1 teaspoon. And this is going to saute for 5 minutes at 120 degrees. 120 degrees is saute temperature that just I mentioned just now, perfect temperature for veggies, for sauteing and all that. All these, what temperature, when should I use it and all that is in the basic cookbook. And you don't have to worry so much, because we all are there, your advisors are there. We have an advisor group. We have a customer group, we have telegrams, we have Facebook, we have websites. Whatever you have any queries in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. also, somebody is bound to answer you. Okay, so back to my slide. So perfect temperature. Why perfect temperature? I tell you why. Remember I told you that I fermented my idli batter in the Thermomix. What I did is I used it at 37 degrees. 37 degrees, you're not going to get it using any other machine. It's not like you're going to buy a specific machine just to ferment it for 37 degrees. It is the perfect temperature for it to ferment and to maintain it for 8 hours. That's what I did with the Thermomix. I did it at night. I put it at 12 o'clock. I went to sleep, and then 8 o'clock in the morning, I actually took it out from the Thermomix. And then you have things like, if there are any bakers here, if you have done chocolate ganache and all that, you actually double boil when you're making your ganache. Over here, you don't need to double boil. You just dump the chocolate inside, and at 50 degrees, you're going to get perfect melted chocolate, okay? So you have 70 degrees for perfect sauces. Why sauces? I'm a huge MasterChef fan, huge fan. So if you were to see restaurants and all that, Michelin-star restaurants, they actually have sous chefs specific for sauces. So when you watch the sous chef, you know what he'll do? The pot with the sauce, he'll be stirring. He'll off the stove, he'll on the stove, then he'll stir. Okay, he can do that 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Can you imagine him doing it for a month, a year? There are bound to be days where he's going to have a bad day. He had a fight with somebody and all that. He's going to forget, or he's going to miss that. Okay, I'm supposed to stir it 5 times clockwise, 1 time anti-clockwise, or whatever that is that particular chef told him to do. With Thermomix, it is so reliable in that sense. I'm not saying humans are not, but what I'm saying is, if technology can do it for you, why not, isn't it? Because there is one particular chef, an Australian chef, husband. He's got like 15 Thermomix in his Michelin star restaurant, and he's got specific ones for soups, for sauces, so that he doesn't have, he gets perfect sauces every time he makes it, every day he makes it, you know. And then you have like kaya spread at 98 degrees. 98 degrees you're not going to get on the stove. How are you going to measure? You have seen some chefs, they will put that thermometer in the stove, they will wait, watch and all that, and then they will stir. Oh, okay, it's a perfect time to put it in, let's put it in. It's not going to do that. It's going, Thermomix is just about us lazy people. We just dump it in and it's going to do the rest of the work for us. Sauteing, like what I'm doing right now at 120 degrees. You have browning, like what Azurin mentioned. You can do your meats, your most of the time it's meats like beef or chicken and things like that. And then you have like caramelization, like what I told you. I have done caramel pudding for the first time in my life. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. It is so how do I say it? It is so amazing to see white sugar caramelized into thick caramel, just like by constant stirring that Thermomix has done. I wouldn't have done it on my own on a stove. I wouldn't even have attempted it because I would know for a fact that tak jadi. So I did that, and it's so satisfying. Yeah, that's the word, satisfying, when you get to do something that you can't do. You know it's difficult to do. You would otherwise go to a fine dining restaurant, which most of us avoid nowadays because of COVID and all that. You get to do it at home at 2 in the morning. You want to do it, fine. You want to do it a day in advance. I did it for Christmas, so I did it like 2 days in advance. So I had it for the Christmas Eve. And then you have high temperature where you can make your own crispy ikan bilis. You can make bawang goreng. So like I was mentioning about having dry wok. Okay, ikan bilis normally your wok has to be hot, dry. Then when you put the oil in, it has to be hot. And then after that, when you're putting in the ikan bilis, you're supposed to wash your ikan bilis first. But you cannot put the ikan bilis directly. You have to dry the ikan bilis. You have to towel dry it, and then only that one also you'll be like pop, 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 pop everywhere and all that. So you basically have to come with the face shield and all that when you're making your ikan bilis. This one, nothing doing. Your Thermomix can be wet. You just campak your oil inside and you put the wet ikan bilis inside, and it's already done. And then you have varoma. That is the one that I had used to make the idli just now. You can actually steam fish, chicken, vegetables, and whatnot. Okay. So, okay. So with layered cooking, like most of us said, like even Ilashni said she loves making layered cooking and all that. It's because you get to use like soups in here, and then the simmering basket just now that you can actually cook your rice inside, the nasi kukus rice, the low GI rice, low glycemic index rice. And then with the varoma dish, you get to steam your chicken in the varoma dish, and then the tray on top, you can actually put vegetables and whatnot. So this is how it looks like. You can make your soup and desserts like hot and cold desserts. You can put your potatoes, rice, or pasta, your carbs, and then you can steam your proteins, your eggs and vegetables, and then you can also steam your meat, fish, and chicken all in one go. Okay. So the next step is I would be adding the dal, the reserved dal tadi. Okay. Oh, tunjuk you dulu. How it looks like. So this is the part I tell you that if you have children running around and all that, when they touch this, it's not hot. The only thing that is hot is the stainless steel bowl here. And you know it's hot because it's got red color here. If you can see the red, if it's red, it's more than 60 degrees. So you know it's hot. And the kids can't even reach anyway. They'll be reaching this only. They're walking around and touching this only. Okay. So now I'm going to add in the reserved dal. And then I'm going to put in the veggies, the steamed veggies. So this is how it looks like. And water. So it's 400 mils of water. And this is going to cook for a further 3 minutes. Okay. So why 100 degrees and not 120 degrees? Because at this moment it's all liquid and it's just boiling. So we are just incorporating the dal, we are incorporating the vegetables and what do you call that? The water and the tomatoes and all that. At this point, some people add tamarind, but I don't use tamarind. I some jawal because my mother doesn't like to use, and she is always she said as long as you put in tomato, you're gonna have that particular acidity kind of thing. So going back to this, we were talking about layered cooking. Okay. So what are the kinds of layered cooking can you do? Okay, so with Thermomix, you get to do 2-layer cooking, you get to do 3-layer cooking, or you get to do 4-layer cooking. You can't get that with a multi-purpose cooker. You can't get that with a normal wok. You can't get that with a steamer. You can't get that with any other electrical appliances. You know. Why we keep saying that this is so great, and like Lashni's mom said, it's such a magic machine, is because it gets to do so many things at the same time, and it gets right all the time. You know, it's people like it, you enjoy it, you feel proud. I feel proud. And then for people who cook, they think it's easy. For people who don't cook, they get to make their own food and all that. So over here is like mantau. I never made mantau until I bought my own Thermomix. Mantau is basically your pau without a filling. So if you put in filling, any filling you want, all the recipes are in Thermomix. You get to make your own pau. And then we all know that paus, sometimes they are not fresh when you buy outside. You have to go to your specific place, maybe just to get fresh paus and all that. You get to make your soups at the same time. Pumpkin soup, potato soup, mushroom soup. Forget about Campbell with high MSG and preservatives, and you have stabilizers and things like that. You get to actually make it at home. Or you get to do 3-layer cooking. You know, it's so nice when you have tandoori and all that. You get to plate them out. I never used to plate. For me, it's all about cooking, and then I will dump everything into the sink. My husband will come back for lunch. He will eat, and his duty is to wash the dishes that I had cooked with. Because by that time I'm just so tired already because I have kids and things like that. So like with here, I get to plate it, you know. So you have like your daging or your chicken rendang, and then you have your pulut kuning, and then you get to boil your eggs because they have different options. You can either use it in the Burma dish, or you can actually use it in the simmering basket, or you want to use it in the mixing bowl itself. There are so many possibilities. Okay. And then you get to also do your own Hainanese chicken rice. If you know Hainanese chicken rice, you can make your own soup. And then you cook rice in the simmering basket. And then you have chicken steamed. And then Hainanese chicken rice has this steamed egg. Or if you don't prefer steamed eggs, you can actually use steamed broccoli or carrot and actually have that plated out when you have guests over. You can also do mee curry. So you have like your yellow mee, and then you have your curry, and then you get to steam all your fish balls and fish cakes and you know your hard-boiled eggs and things like that. Okay. So the last bit of my what do you call that recipe is okay. So I have it's looking good. It smells good, even better. I have coriander powder. Coriander powder is something I love so much, but you cannot use so much. If you use a lot, it's going to have that bitter taste. So you have about 1 teaspoon of coriander powder. And my mother uses fish curry powder. Some people don't use. And then there's 1 tablespoon of chili powder. The fish curry powder my mother uses for 2 reasons. One, to give it like a bit of a tangy taste. And the other is because she likes the color. Because my mom, when she cooks, she tends to add along just to get the right color, you know. So I'm just going to add that all in. Okay. And then you have this thing called asafoetida. Asafoetida is this bottle. You get it's about 3 ringgit or something like that. Why we put this is because lentils gives you angin. So this thing is to buang the angin in layman's term lah. Okay. So you just put like a 1/4 teaspoon of this. And then you add in another 1/2 teaspoon of salt. This time around, the salt is for taste. A lot of people, they like to saute their masala, the spices and all that in oil first. My mother doesn't do that because she says, I mean, that's her version now, that if you saute like that, it tends to overburn the masala. But I suppose with Thermomix, you don't have that issue. Okay. So I'm just going to put that right in. And I'm going to cook it for 5 minutes. And I'm going to pass it back to Jaya, who's going to be cooking another classic Indian dish where we all have to cook it once or twice. Like for COVID, everybody was drinking loads and loads of it just so that they don't get COVID. Okay. Thank you so much. I will come back and show you the end result. Okay.
Thank you, Hemi. So, okay, I'm going to pass to Jaya, okay? All right,
Hi.
Jaya.
Hi everyone. Okay, it's my turn now. Okay, what I'm going to make now is actually rasam. It's super simple and it's super quick. Okay, all you need for rasam. Okay, there's ingredient A and ingredient B. There's recipe card on it. I came up with the recipe card. Okay, you need. I hope you can see. Yeah, shallots. Okay, which has been pounded, and then dry chili, and then some cumin. Okay, all I have to do now is this is manual cooking. Okay, so the manual mode is on, and I'm gonna just pour in some oil. Okay, if to be precise, it's about 20 grams of oil. But since I'm making rasam on a daily basis, so it is. I mean, I don't usually use my scale. Okay, but for the first timers, if you're just gonna start making rasam, please wait. So all these babies get into this mixing bowl, okay? All right, and then I've already washed curry leaves, okay? You can use about 2 to 3 strings of curry leaves, okay? So this gets in it as well. And then we're just gonna cover it and just gonna the temperature will be 120. And let's start. Okay, and now while I'm waiting for it to sort for me for about 4 minutes, okay, I'm just gonna show you the ingredients B. Okay, usually what I do is I prepare this, okay? So what gets into this is actually water, okay? And then 2 tomatoes. Okay, if you want it to be a bit more sourish, then what you can do is you can add in more ripe tomatoes. And then garlic. Okay, I don't remove the skin, but I wash it and then I just give it a little pound. And then all your spices. Okay, what gets into this is actually your black pepper. I like to use the coarse black pepper. And then some cumin, some fennel, and then a wee bit of turmeric, and then the hing. Okay, it comes in yellow bottle, it comes in what they call a white bottle. Okay. And then, regarding tamarind, Assam Jawa, I don't usually use Assam Jawa as well in my cooking. So what I do is I usually increase the tomatoes. But in the recipe card, actually, there is about 50 grams of tamarind. So you can do that. And then salt, okay? Make sure the salt gets into this as well. And then just, I would love to set it aside. Usually I just keep it about maybe 15 to 30 minutes. I love to do that because, you know, all that flavor gets into the water. Okay, actually making rasam is super easy, okay? And yeah, as mentioned during COVID time, rasam was literally a hit. And yeah, I do share it with my neighbors as well because they don't really know how to make it. But I think now everyone can make rasam and literally you can have it every day because it's just on top of that, it is really, really good for digestion. Okay, and while I think I only have 2 more minutes. So once this is done, so whatever I prepared inside the bowl gets into this, and I will just cook it for another 8 more minutes. But then the temperature will be 98 degrees. Why? Because I don't want it to be boiling. Rasam actually shouldn't be boiling, okay? It's 98 is just the perfect temperature. Even previously when I used to cook on the stove, I usually put very, very small flame, but now I don't have to worry about that. Okay, now moving on, I would like to just share about kneading mode on Thermomix, okay? I am a baker, but I only bake chocolate chip cookies. Okay, my baking was, the dough, everything was done manually. But prior to that, I'm not a person who, it is my hobby, but I'm not a person who like, I bake every day, you know, bread. Self-cleaning, trust me, I bake almost every day, no going to the bakery, nothing. And I know what gets into my boys' food. Literally, I get the unbleached flour and then cane sugar. So I think that is like really good when you know what gets into the food. Okay, and moreover, the pre-cleaning mode is one of my favorite. Why? Because you know when you bake, the entire kitchen will be like tsunami, right? I mean, so much of things for you to wash. But with this, baking, it's like so easy. It's not only makes your life simple just for cooking, but even for baking, it's like super, super easy. And for me, time, okay? Time is really, really precious. What I do, I always plan my timing, okay? See, within 4 minutes, it has been sorted. Okay, allow me to show you what's inside this. Okay, done sorting and it smells really, really gets into this. Okay, before that, allow me to just scrape it down a little. Okay, and then this baby gets into this. Okay, no splashes, everything gets into this. And I'll just add a little bit more of water. Okay, because I don't want to waste all the spices in this, just a little. And then it will be done in just another 8 minutes. Okay, see, I'm just gonna, 8 minutes. Right, darling? Okay, and then the temperature is 98. Reverse and spoon. Okay. Okay, so that's about it. In 8 minutes time, my rasam will be done. Okay, so I'll be passing it back to Azurin. Then see you all later with my rasam. Back to you, Azurin.
Thank you, Jaya. Okay. I'm going to share my screen again. I'm going to do a closing, finish up, and then we'll share to you all the finished product of the food lah, okay? Okay, so the price of the Thermomix is, sorry. Oops. Yeah. Okay. So the price of the Thermomix is 6988. It was 7188, but now they are 200 ringgit rebate. So the price now is 6988, and there are 3 payment options for you to choose from. The first one is you can also pay lump sum by cash. You will actually get this thermo server. It's 2.2 liter, the same size as your mixing bowl. So whatever you cook here, you can pour it in here lah. So you boleh serve terus kat, on your table. So thermo server ni, it will keep your food warm for longer time. And you can also actually make, when you make ice cream, if you want to serve ice cream ke apa, you can put it in here and serve it on the table. So it will keep your food, hot food warmer longer, or cold food colder longer. Okay. Okay, if you buy full cash, you will get that for free. If you buy full payment via credit card, you will get a cookbook. I don't have it with me right now. So it will be one pot wonder cookbook. And then the other payment option is you can actually pay an installment using credit card. There are 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, and 24 months for you to choose from, as low as 291 ringgit per month. It's around 9 ringgit per day je. Okay, and however, it's only 4 banks of credit card that you can use lah. CIMB, Maybank, Public Bank, or Hong Leong Bank. Okay, but if you don't have credit card, you can actually use an installment. You can actually use your debit card and pay our deposit plus installment. Okay, you have to pay a 2,988 ringgit, but for deposit, you will get your Thermomix, and then for the balance of 4,000 you have to pay it by installment using debit card. You can also use that with your credit card as well. If you don't have like the 4 banks yang I mentioned tadi, you can use other banks of credit card for that payment option. Okay. So it's you can choose 6 months, 12 months, or 18 months. It's as low as 222 ringgit per month. So it's around 9 ringgit per day juga as well. Okay. Okay, so this one I share with you just now. And then Thermomix is all you need lah. So you can do your breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper, all with your Thermomix. And not only you can actually pass the cooked, pass the you can actually ask your husband or your kids yang dah boleh baca to cook for the family as well. Okay. Because it's so easy, they tell you everything step by step. They tell you what to put inside the Thermomix, what to do, what to set. Semua dia bagi tahu. Okay, so and then making breakfast is so easy. Like for example, this mee curry, it only takes you about less than 20 minutes, I think, less than 30 minutes for sure. So while it's cooking, you can go to the toilet and mandi or siap-siap for work in the morning, and when it's done, it's gonna tell you it's done, and you terus hidang and boleh makan. And the Thermomix will also pre-clean for you, so while you eat, it will clean for you, and then while it's done, you can just bilas and wash it one more time. You don't need to scrub apa semua lah, because it's already have been pre-cleaned. Okay, and cooking vegetables only takes about 7 minutes. 4 minutes to saute the bawang putih, and then the veggies will be cooked at 3 to 4 minutes tops. Okay, and then your veggie will be so juicy, so tender, and it still have this sweet taste though, so it won't lose the nutrients lah on the veggies. The color will be still very vibrant, so because it's cooked at optimum temperature. Okay, and roti pun you can make on your own. I haven't bought gardenia in many months, like almost a year, because I bake my own roti. Okay, and life with Thermomix is, yeah, like I told you in the beginning, family eating together. So bila you cook with Thermomix, it's less stress, and you're not tired, so you can join makan sama-sama dengan family lah. And then mothers can cook. Kalau if you're a working mom, when you come back home from work, atau like Lashni just now, when she work at home, she can actually still cook while during meetings when she wants to get her job done, she can actually go to the kitchen kejap, put in the ingredients and then let the Thermomix cook for her. Okay, and then if you have small kids, like I have a toddler who is 2 years old, so sometimes I let her into the kitchen because it's safe, dia tak ada open fire, so she will help me cook together lah. She will put the ingredients in and she loves doing that. So at the same time, you can enjoy more time with your family, you can teach your kids on how to cook. And then a Montessori teacher shared with us that when your kids cook together with you, they will appreciate the food more, they will love eating more. So sometimes children who is picky eater tend to like to eat after you have a Thermomix, especially veggies. If children doesn't like veggies, when you cook your veggie with Thermomix, the like broccoli or carrots, it will taste very sweet. So like, but not sugar sweet or the veggie punya sweet. So children tends to like it more lah. Okay. And then auto cooking, auto washing, beautiful clean kitchen, tak ada percik-percik minyak apa semua. And of course, when you invest in Thermomix, you are actually investing in your health, okay? Because you cook your own food, you know the ingredients you put in, no MSG and less salt, so it's healthier lah, so it's good for you, okay? And then who else needs a Thermomix other than chefs, busy professionals, or people who are health conscious pun can get a Thermomix, because like I said before, you know the ingredients, and then yelah, bila you beli kat luar, you don't know what they put inside the food, kan? So cooking enthusiasts or people who cannot cook, people who knows how to cook, like Elashni, she knows how to cook, but she used the Thermomix to help her to senangkan her kerja lah. And then families with children, and then also if you have parents who are staying alone, when they cook on the open fire, it's dangerous for them because they have to be there to kacau, always stirring, and sometimes when they forgot, maybe diorang penat and they go in front and diorang duduk and then they forgot, I'm actually cooking something. So the open fire is so dangerous for them. And bila diorang masak on the stove, they have to stand there for like almost an hour and keep stirring and stirring. So lutut sakit, siku pun sakit kan, because they have to stir all the time. So Thermomix is a good gift for your parents lah. Okay. Okay, so it's the best way to multiply your happiness. So other than that, you can also join as an advisor ataupun sell food from your Thermomix, so you can make money out of it juga as well. Okay. And then yeah, so if you want a Thermomix, contact your advisor yang invite you today and they will tell you more about it. Okay, and thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining us. I will pass around the chef to show you the finished product. Okay, so thank you. We will start with Lynn. Okay.
Hi guys. So I mentioned just now that this is my first time making this recipe, and I must say, I'm very proud of myself. It turned out perfect.
Lin dah makan.
Wow, so nice.
Ada makan pun dah.
Lin dah makan.
The sweet potato, it's still in the exact same shape that I cut. It's not broken into pieces or anything. This is the cauliflower. So those who are, doing low carb diet, you can do this recipe. It's cauliflower. If you want the high calorie, you can change this to white rice. So I've tasted it. It's really, really delicious. So
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you, Lynn. Okay, Hemi.
Oh, Hemi pun nak makan lah. Okay, so like I was mentioning, nampak tak? I was
Nampak?
mentioning about plating. So I siap beli what do you call that? Ramekins, and then if you go to high-end restaurants and all that, you get to eat it like this lah. So this is my idli, and then all you have to do is cecah and then makan lah.
Wow, so nice.
Yes. So this recipe portion is for 8 people. So you get to keep it for lunch and for dinner lah. So boleh
Okay.
makan dengan prata, boleh makan dengan tose, boleh makan dengan nasi.
Send some to my house, okay?
Boleh.
Just kidding.
Boleh je.
Okay, thank you, Amy.
Thank
Okay,
you.
now Jaya.
Hi.
Is your
Okay,
rasam
check out my
ready?
rasam. Okay, this is what it
Oh.
looks like. I'm just gonna garnish it with some coriander. It's gonna taste yum. Okay, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, everyone. Thank you all the chefs and thank you all for joining our show today. And that's all from us. If you want the Thermomix, contact your advisor, okay? Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.